Hey everybody, welcome to an awesome episode. I have got Dave and Philip from the Arthouse Syndicate. There is a third member in your crew. Is it David or who was it?
No,
Dane. I am. Everyone will know I'm garbage.
He's over in Vietnam.
He's over in Vietnam, so he couldn't be able to make a day. But we've got David and Philip from Arthouse Syndicate. So guys, just wanted to just give this opportunity to let you guys just explain about what you do and how that came about, bit of history about how it came around, and we'll go from there. So one of the first questions is explain to the audience about Arthouse Syndicate. I'll give this to you. I'll give this to Dave. David, go. You go. Dave.
So I guess it all. I mean, I haven't been in the TCG world much at all. So 12 months or so, probably a little bit more than 12 months now.
Right.
I didn't even hear about Flesh and Blood. I've never played Magic, but I knew of Magic. And I was always interested. I like that kind of sci-fi fantasy kind of feel and mood.
Right.
A few computer games and stuff like in the past where I always seem to be drawn more into the art, the feel of the game rather than being any good or
No, I know.
And so I think like probably 90% of people who seem to be in Flesh and Blood, I was kind of watching Rudy just out of interest. And when the Flesh and Blood thing came up, I was like, oh, actually, this is brand new. This is something I can get into. I didn't think Magic was something that was. It's like why would I get into it at this point?
It's a behemoth, isn't it? And you sort of it's very over. You could jump in and start, but there's a big thing. It's something so overwhelming about something with that history about it. Do you know what I mean? But when you've got a new game, it's new community as well, isn't it? It's new everything.
Yeah, this is my chance to jump in. So I got a couple of boxes that were available here in Australia, which I think this was just. This was before Monarch. This was just post Crucible.
Oh, you had all the stuff, mate. Well,
the only stuff that was around was like Welcome to Wraith and Arcane in Australia at that time. Nothing else was here.
What, first edition?
No.
Oh,
unlimited.
I was sitting there going like.
So this was like
we only had the gold.
Arcane came around on my birthday, like whatever it was, a couple of years ago. But I didn't know about it at that point. Right. So this was unlimited.
Oh, okay, sure.
But then it was like, well, Monarch's coming out, and the prices. It was like the whole investment thing. It was just like, shit, do I buy one because this could go to
the moon,
$2,000 or whatever. The moon. Let's go to the moon. So I kind of got into that way, had a couple of boxes and just watching the Facebook and YouTubes and stuff.
Yeah.
And I just noticed that every video someone was talking about art. Oh, this is great art, and the art this and the art that.
Yeah.
It was like, there's no one actually. Everyone's posting images of cards.
Yeah.
But no one was like posting the art. So I was like, oh. I started hunting down the artists on ArtStation. Or other locations, and so I thought, what the hell? I'll just start up a Facebook group and just post it and see what happens.
Yeah.
With no expectations of it becoming anything. And everyone loves art, so people kind of gravitated. It's not my personality. This is like the second interview I've ever done. I did one like 12 months ago.
Oh, wow.
With Lee from Tavern Brawlers.
Fair enough.
So I just started the Flesh and Blood Arthouse Facebook page or group, and just went through like a lot of the old stuff was there. A lot of it still has never been released.
Right.
So I just started posting these images, and then the people just gravitate to the art because they hadn't seen the full art. And sometimes the art on the cards is like massively cut down, so
it
just seemed to become its thing.
Awesome.
And then somewhere along the line, I heard about. I think I was just looking up Magic, and the stuff about artist proofs came up. I thought, I can't even remember how I went from learning about artist proofs to hunting them down. I think maybe what I did was I reached out to some artists on Instagram, not expecting any kind of response, and then I got a couple of responses, and it was like, hey, thanks for sharing my art, and you start to build up this relationship with the artists. Like, you start to find out about their personal lives and what's going well and what's not going, what's going badly, and
well,
I started to develop all these relationships with the artists, which was probably the best thing. That's the most thing I get out of it. I hardly play. I think I've only done one release event for Toa so far. I'm 0-3, but I'm on the board. I'm playing at Uprising on Sydney tomorrow.
Oh, awesome!
Flying out early in the morning, so I'll be there for the afternoon.
That's awesome, man. Well, and
yeah,
I'm going to jump over to Philip. What's
sorry for
no? What's just give us a rundown of your story.
Well, I was into Magic. I used to play Legacy and Modern.
Yeah.
I can't afford Standard, but I can play Legacy and Modern.
Right.
But I started getting into Flesh and Blood again. I learned about it through Rudy.
Right. So
and
Rudy,
it's like, this is better. Like, this game is so much better. I haven't played Magic now since before Monarch. Because I've just gone all into Flesh and Blood.
Yeah.
But I knew about artist proofs in Magic. I have a couple from Magic, but when we got into Flesh and Blood, I actually found the Flesh and Blood art house on Facebook.
Right.
And I was like, I wonder if they have artist proofs in this game. So it was actually Daria that I reached out to first.
Yeah.
It was for Eclipse. And I was like, hey, just curious, do you have any of these? And she said yes, and I bought a bunch of stuff from her. But then I was realizing that it was expensive for shipping.
Right.
The shipping was often more expensive than the artist proof.
Right. Okay.
So, a lot of the locals around me started asking, like, hey, can I get some too?
Right.
So I actually was buying on behalf of myself, and at one point there was like 10 or 15 people just local to me.
Right.
And it just helping save shipping.
Oh, so
yeah, I mean, that's the same thing that happened with me. Like,
yeah.
I bought a print from Federico, one of his limited prints, the first lot they did, a big Ursa.
Yeah.
And I think the conversation got onto the artist proofs, and like, I was doing the same thing. I'd reached out and I was getting a couple, and then we have a local group here that also wanted to get in on it. So
to people that don't know, because there's going to be one or two, what is an artist proof?
So an artist proof will look like the normal card on the front, but nothing on the back.
Right. Okay. So
they're printed at quantities of between 30 and 45, depending on the set.
Yeah.
They only come in non-foil. Ooh. And it's kind of like a test print that's sent to the artist. The original idea was that it was a test print sent to the artist to verify that it translated from what they had submitted onto the card.
Yeah,
that was the original idea.
Yeah.
But now they were done as like a courtesy, as like a thank you, basically.
Right.
And so the artists are then able to do with them what they will. So they'll sell them, and some of them will sketch on the back of them.
That's so cool. Like, I think I feel like very much I'm definitely one of those people that but I've played a fair amount of games, but I've never really sort of gotten to the point of knowing what an artist proof really was, and I only started to see some of these artist proofs sort of crop up from this game. And I'm sure that must have been a historical
Oh,
thing.
there's a huge community, I think, for Magic. There's a whole
Yeah,
Discord that's devoted to it.
yeah, and there's like I think I saw some of them from Monarch. There was yeah. So you got chain when you flip it over.
These were actually the first. These are the very first ones that Federico did.
So
So
cool.
these are just hand pencil sketches. They are.
So it's just people.
He sent. He actually. That's what happened. He sent these when he sent the print because it was so expensive to ship the print that he chucked these in.
Oh wow!
And that's what triggered me.
That's so like.
Thanks for the conversation. I would have forgotten.
No, it's fine. It's one of those things where I kind of. Oh my god, that's so. It's basically a whole collection within itself, and for you guys, it all started off with these artist proofs. You wanted to get in on getting some of these artist proof stuff. You realised that getting that sort of thing together is a massive ball ache. So
I don't know if it's initially it was just there's few they only get, I think for the first they only came out with Welcome to Wraith. There wasn't any for Arcane Rising or
Crucible.
Yeah, and then they came out again with Monarch. So Welcome to Wraith, Monarch, and from then on.
Oh wow!
They actually had them. So there was only 30, as far as we know. There was generally 30 of the commons, or whatever. I think it was generally commons and rares. They'd get 30 of them, 30 artist proofs.
Yeah.
There is rumours of a Majestic or two, which is a one-off artist proof.
Oof.
It's a collector's. So as an investment, I don't know. You know, this is it could be like for Magic. These things are on the moon already. I think for a lot of them, maybe not everything, but yeah. For me, it's always been about just the curiosity of it and the community, like meeting with. Philip reached out to me, and we're helping each other source stuff.
Sure.
And then with Dane, he was running a charity because he's in Vietnam where a couple of the artists live.
Oh wow! Okay.
So he was arranging this charity, and he arranged the leg tap artist proof through Lee Vuong, I think his name is, the artist.
Yeah.
And he reached out. He reached out to Philip and myself.
Okay, so
to try and promote this charity.
Oh wow! Okay.
And that's
there was also it was the 3 leg taps and then 2 unlimited signed IRAs and 2 first edition signed IRAs.
Okay, cool. And they're the only ones that the artist is going to do. He said, "That's it. I'm not doing any more of them."
Oh wow!
So he's got them, but he's not going to. He's either going to give them to his friends.
So it's so we get to this point now. So Dave, you've kickstarted this up, and you've from getting into the artist proofs, finding out how tricky and awkward this is to sort of get artists into this space, and then you, Philip, it was kind of you're seeing this from this side from America, and then you guys got talking, and then you got Dane from Vietnam, and then you just kind of just formed this awesome.
Well, Philip had his group of these 15 odd people who were just ordering so much stuff, and then I've got my group, which is a lot smaller in Australia, but we got this constant kind of demand for it, and it's like, well, why don't we just do what we're doing now, but
give it a name.
Kind of combine our efforts.
Yeah.
So really, nothing's changed, but except that we're all kind of talking a lot more.
That's
and we're kind of linked as a single thing. It's like, well, we could just have a website store where we kind of get people to join in on the thing. So it's really just an expanded group. The people that kind of join subscribe to the site and become like a buyer or a customer are really just joining in on our group. So we don't make a huge profit at all on these things. Like, we have to account for shipping and all the fees with setting up a business or running the business. So we really, but on the other hand, we're doing it all in one hit. So if people can send their cards in to get signed,
Right.
to
Okay.
us, and we'll ship them. We'll ship them in one lot, like the Oceanic people send to me,
Yeah.
and the US and Europe people send to.
So in short, basically, Arthouse Syndicate is basically a focus hub bit, so where you can get all the artists come together and all the stuff that artists give to the community and the community want to purchase through that. It's basically, rather than trying to find each an individual one and their own little site and their own little thing, it is a flesh and blood artist. If you want anything,
It's the lazy man's,
yeah.
or the clever. Yeah, it's a lot of work to like.
Yeah, I mean,
Unless you've got a
on the
specific
site.
artist that you like,
Yeah,
you can contact them and reach out and deal with it yourself and pay your own shipping for one card or 2 cards or whatever you want to do.
so that's an interesting thing. So when you've got,
So we're kind of saving all that because we get everything shipped in one lot, so it's just the one shipping cost rather than, and when you spread it across, the entire order,
yeah,
it really keeps the costs down.
so
and all our prices are based on what the artists want to charge. So
okay. So in order to get these proofs, is there only so many, or do they, like you said, you've got? I've seen some of these. There's only so many, but they're still.
You see, a lot of them, they number them like 1 of 45 on the back or something like that. 1 of 30, depending on which. If it was Welcome to Wraith, it would be 1 of 30. If it's Monarch onwards, it's 1 of 45.
All right. Is it so on your site here? If I was to look at for an artist proof, does it just say that it's sold out, or if it's on there, it's on there, you can get it, or right?
It wouldn't be listed on the site. It would be it would be off the site if it was sold out.
All right, sure. Because I'm just looking through it now, and I'm like, ooh, because I think for me, a lot of this is kind of like new. I love all the artwork that this
I mean, there's things like the judge promos signed by the artists. Like, I can't afford the real thing.
Yeah.
Well, this is the real thing too.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I've got I've got the full playset here. So let's see.
Oh wow.
I got it to sketch
right,
it's the Herald. It's the Herald with the dread triptych dudes at the bottom.
Wow.
Something like that. There we go.
Oh my god! And that's all. Flip them over. And which cards are these? Are they all the judge?
That's the Herald Judge promos.
That's so cool. How much are they?
And this one.
Oh my!
That's a bit more expensive because there's 3 of them. They're only as a set, so you'll get like the 3 card sketch. That's how they're offered at the moment. So that's about 200.
Okay, so how? So you basically how?
And there's only 45 of each. So.
Right. Okay. So how did you get how did you get in contact with most of the artists? Have you got? Are there still like new artists that you're just trying to source and keeping?
Yeah, new ones coming up all the time.
Yeah.
For me, it's always been Instagram has been the most successful way to contact. They have their official kind of sites like ArtStation, which is like all the artists are on ArtStation.
Yeah.
And they show their art, but not everyone, and they can sell prints through ArtStation as well.
Right. Okay.
Not all of them do because, there's some issues, I think, with costs and how much money they actually get out of it.
Sure.
Yeah.
So is everyone in your group all just have you all like got a particular thing? So if, like, are you doing the same stuff, but it's all about your local area, or have you all got specific jobs about what you like? Is Philip, are you the artist finding guy? Like, do you know what I mean? Is there like what's the sort of the structure, I suppose, around it?
We do split up the responsibilities some. So like, I handle a lot of the finances. Dane a lot of the website development, development. David handles a lot of the reaching out to the artists and coordinating a lot of stuff through them.
Right, awesome.
Well, David handles the logistics for Oceanic, Australia. I handle the logistics for the Americas, Europe.
Yeah. No, that's because I have to say a lot of this stuff to me, like from goodness, this is all. I feel like this is new territory for me.
Philip and Dane are business minded as well. So Dane's a former hotel manager.
Yeah.
Dane's got studying business, and he's you know, the kind of background helps. They've got a good handle of running a business, whereas I'm I would just be broke by now if I was running it.
No, no, that's fair. So one of the one of the last sort of questions I want to throw out there, and then I'm going to plug the hell out of your site and put it up. So, why do you think it's important to engage with the artist community for the long term success of this game, Philip? I'll throw that one out to you.
The game wouldn't be what it is without the artists. They're the ones who are doing the art for the cards, so that's kind of important.
Yeah.
But making sure that like having that following just adds another level to the game. So like everybody knows Federico, right?
Yeah.
He went to New Jersey. His line in New Jersey to see him and meet with him never stopped. Like I never saw it once where it was empty. It was constant. There were people there.
I can imagine he was the guy that did Ursa, right? And did he did Mangle?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Those all those artworks are just like they're insane.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure he was a busy man.
Oh, he had to go ice his hand a few times.
Oh, God.
Just signing cards.
So I suppose really as well. I mean, how excited are you guys to see Uprising's new Dragon full art cards that they're really slamming out, like the artists, like just really giving it some love.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's
probably one or two of those dragons. Hopefully, can end up on a wall as a print. Because I got my Ursa print, but I actually it's going up in my LGS.
Yeah.
Down here, so there's no space here at home.
And what about you, Dave? Is it just more of what Philip said about the importance of just keep the artists engaging with the community?
So many people have messaged saying that that's what kind of got them in. That's what drew them in to start with.
Mm-hmm.
And I've posted a couple of little clips from videos where some of the YouTubers have said exactly that. Like it gets them in. So even if the game fell over, you've got these cool images, and for a lot, maybe not everyone, a lot of the bulk of the community is players right now. But for people like me, it's like it triggers something in your mind and gets you thinking about other stuff. Like kind of intriguing.
Absolutely. I mean, I know exactly what you mean. I've got a Nebula blade from one of my friends purchased a Nebula blade mat from the Pro Tour because he was there, and the artist signed it. And the first thing I'm just going to do is frame it and just have it up on that wall, because it's just, to me, it's special, that artwork. You were totally right. The artwork draws you into the game. Like when I first
like when Levia kind of came out in Monarch, like my jaw actually did drop. I went, oh
wow. Yeah, it's for me it was just
partly that because that was the whole shadow. Even though I haven't played a whole lot, it's like Shadow Brute, and then this young chick who's kind of demon possessed. It's like that's right up my alley. All the kind of psychological horror.
Yeah, so was that the stuff that brought you in? Was that the art? What I was going to say, what was
just the dark? I think because it was 16 plus, it was like, okay, what does that mean? And I'm glad it's not like the anime, overflowing corsets and stuff.
Yeah. Minimal, this minimal armor that blocks for 10. Yeah, I know what you mean. What about you?
As good as it looks, it just doesn't do it for me.
Is there? What about you, Philip? Is there what sort of what cards brought you in when you saw that and went, yeah, that's what I want. That's what I want in this game.
Honestly, it was the fact that they were willing to put like the blood and gore on a card. It was, I don't know how to explain it.
And some of the lore was quite rich too with words.
Yeah, but it was the fact that they were willing to go and make it more adult in the blood and gore that is just there and just saying, this is us. This is what we want to do.
Yeah, like good example is Snag, right? That's that one doesn't pull any punches on.
David, do you have your snacks?
I don't know why I didn't have it ready.
Oh, have you got? Oh my god! Am I just going to start saying cards? And have you got every card as an artist proof?
No.
You seem to be every
I've got
card
the ones that I like.
Yeah. And I think when I saw Snag and I saw Mangle,
Let me assemble this.
I think a lot of it as well. It was a lot of the Guardian cards actually that really sold it to me, like Debilitate and Disarm. Is it Disarm? I can't really remember. I'm terrible with the name part. But like when you see that guy's hand getting smashed by the hammer, you're like, yeah, that's.
Oh, yeah. I've actually asked LSS if we can get the full art of that.
Well, yeah, because that's
a lot of the artists they're either they don't want that social profile. They don't want to talk to the public. They don't want to deal with the public. So
fair enough.
Whether that's just they're shy or they're just too busy, they just don't want to deal with it. So
probably too busy. You're trying to rapidly find your. Okay.
So this is some welcome to Wraith cards from Nathaniel Himawan.
All right, awesome.
So we got. Sorry about the backwards signatures, but
no, you're good.
God, my eyes. Raging Onslaught, Buckling Blow.
Yeah.
And
barraging. First edition.
First edition, pink strips, pink strip alpha proofs.
And then the flip.
And for the sketch, I got a Snag, because he did the art for Snag, but he didn't have the cards. He didn't. He doesn't have the artist.
It's basically it's another angle of. Oh my god.
It's from the top down view. So he's got the.
Oh my god, that's so cool. That is the coolest thing I've ever seen.
That's one of their highlights. So
I feel like
that one's not for sale just yet.
No. So I'm gonna close. I'll close. Actually, I did say the last one was closed, but I will actually close on this one, and then I'll fling up your website so everyone can go and join. If you've seen this and thought, oh my god, I didn't know this stuff even existed. I really love this stuff. Arthouse Syndicate. You can go on there. All these artists have their proofs. They've got their signatures. If you want to really bling out your deck and have something,
not all the artists with theirs,
not everyone, but whatever artists. To be honest, there's quite a lot on that website.
We're trying to be in contact with as many as possible.
There's a lot on there, so go check it out. But I'll share it before we head off. So your favorite? I'm going to say this to everyone I see now. What's your favorite? By looks, or you can go a little bit by what it does if you want, but by looks, out of those 12 dragons, which one are you going? This is the one. This is my boy. This is my little dragon. Which one are you? Which one would you pick? What, you're pointing over there.
You go. Say
Philip. Oh no, you actually are pointing the right way. Yeah, Philip, you go.
I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm horrible at pronouncing things.
What does it look like?
It's the necrotic one.
Oh yeah,
Necria, I think it is.
Yeah. So what the undead looking one?
Yeah.
Yeah. That I loved it as well that each of the dragons are actually part of the dragons in different areas of the game. So that one is the dragon that lies beneath the monastery.
Really?
Yes, because So if you go have a look at the art tiles. So the incantation bit where you play it before you flip it has all of them have got a little bit of lore text, and every dragon is the dragon of this place. So the one that looks really regal is the dragon of Solana, and then you've got and then the grassy looking one. That's the dragon of the Savage Lands.
That's why I like it so much.
Yeah,
that's leading into my brute.
Well, so have I answered your one?
That one is my favourite. Yeah,
that one. When I saw that, I did sort of go. That one almost took the spot for me. But the best, I just call him Tom because I don't really know how to pronounce his act. But that dragon with the magma, I looked at that,
Yeah.
and I was just like, what? I
don't actually know if I've seen them all yet, to be honest.
I've seen them all now, and I was going to put it up on Twitter, on my Twitter, which is Hamsack88. I've started to. I think there's only 3 more left that I've got the alternate artworks on the card art, but I'm just going to do everyone a favor and just do one big picture and go, here is your dragon roster for the uprising. Enjoy, and then you can just. And honestly, once you actually put them all together, it is color, just pure color. It's not like every single one of them has a thing that is just it's not too similar. I think the first 3 dragons have a bit of a like bit to them that you can tell that they're in the same family of things, but the rest of them are just like, and off we go. Like the one, what's that one that gives you an action point back and it looks like he's shooting through loads of clouds? That one's from Metrics, and you're like,
right?
I didn't realize Metrics had a dragon, but they do now. And that golden one,
mechanical dragon.
Yeah, that golden one's from the pits. It's literally slumbering on loads and loads of gold deep in the pits. So there you go. If you didn't know that, that's where all these. You can see where the artists can really just draw their vision from if they know you. If they just say,
it's certainly not what I was expecting for this set.
No. I knew you saw the 3, right? But you didn't. I didn't expect.
I thought that's all it was going to be. I thought it was just going to be the 3.
Yeah, I know, right? You just and then but check them out and have a look at their lore as well. You'll love it. So I'm going to move over to the other slide and hopefully your artwork it does pop up on the screen. So we've moved away from the camera, boys. I'm showing off your website. It's awesome.
Nice.
I will say that I've just jumped onto this for the first time, but I think that's a really good proof to say that how nice and easy this is. It's I was able to follow exactly what this is all about. I just click again on a few clicks and I really got what this whole thing's all about. It's generally
probably
awesome.
The hardest part of it all is the idea of the cycles. So the cycles, it gives an opportunity for people to send us cards to get signed, and it gives us like a deadline where we get stuff to the artist and they've got a period where they can do all the sketching because they got to fit it in with all their other work.
Right. Okay. Sure.
So there's a limited period where these guys are available. So we send them the cards for signing, and at the same time they're sketching their artist proofs, and then they'll send them back to us.
Oh, okay. So
you can order at any time, but it might be their cycle might not come around for a number of months once it closes. So it means you've paid, but you won't get your card until the next cycle. So just be aware that.
Okay, so what is that? What's the cycle for? Like, where are we at? Where are we at now? Because this cycle thing's a bit new with me.
Right now, we just entered into our 4th cycle that we've done. That's gonna have like Kanade Kane, Liz Hay, Kevin Siddhartha.
It's a lot of the Indonesian artists.
Yeah,
right.
Arif
Okay.
Wijaya. So the shield, the Bastion shield, artist proof is available.
Right. Okay.
That's Liz Liang.
She also did with us. She did the a limited amount of hand embellished art prints. So basically, she took art prints, she had them printed, and she went over them and hand painted just accents and embellishments on top of those.
Like foil, glittery stuff. And some that was the shield print, the Bastion of Eisenloft's shield print. That one's sold out already. That one's glow in the dark. Apparently.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. She used some special paint, phosphorus paint, and they glow in the dark.
Wow.
And the Talisman of Featherfoot and Rain Razors.
Oh wow. Okay, cool.
So there's only a limited number to those two.
Well, everyone, if you are absolutely keen, get on it, and you'll be, just get on it. It'll be if you've discovered this for the first time in a much major way like I have now, I'm probably going to be poor because now I've got to find out how I'm going to get Uprising and some artist proofs at the same time. Thank you so much.
That's my battle too. It's like, how am I going to afford the actual set?
Oh God,
Right?
But but
I have to be really careful because we kind of have access to these, but I can't afford them all.
I know. But this is it's a joy of a great game, right? When you've actually got a budget for them.
Yeah.
I guess one of the things I love to do on the Facebook group Flesh and Blood Arthouse, is to, get onto the community art.
Yeah.
Some great artists that I try to promote as well. So that's Odd Art Space, Jose Burgos down here in Australia.
Awesome.
Steve Nowakowski, he does like the leather playmat engraved and stamped.
Yeah.
Kind of custom leather playmats. I've got one kind of lined up. It's taken 12 months just to work out. He keeps coming up with these cool ideas, so it keeps getting pushed out.
What was the name again?
He was Corium Crucible. He's just rebranded to
I know
Steel Forge.
Yeah, I know. I've been chatting a lot with this guy. His stuff is
he's awesome.
Oh my God, his stuff is just it's unreal. I like it. His creativity with leather.
Yeah.
It's just what? How did you come up?
Oh,
with
there's
Piper Collective.
David Pierre. He's Mace of War. He did the leather deck. I got a thing about leather.
Right.
Leather deck boxes with a fancy clip and everything.
Ooh.
Mace of War. And my other little thing, I guess, is like the altars, like fry the eggs.
Yeah.
They kind of go over the border, and I got an altar done by her of blood tribute.
Yeah.
The chick with the
blood
everywhere.
Yeah.
And she upped the blood. She increased the blood 100-fold, and then I sent it to Nick Moskvin for him to sign it.
Oh,
so
wow.
that's probably another little special,
No, that's
early kind of thing that's great in my collection.
Dude, I'm overwhelmed. But I'm gonna have to. We're gonna leave it here, and I'm gonna let everyone that's took part in this video to jump in and be part of the Arthouse Syndicate. Honestly, guys, thank you so much for giving me your time to talk about the work that you're doing. I know that the time zones the time zones are wild, but we're here, we've done it. But dude, thank you so much for your time.
No, thank you.
Yes, thank you, Hamish. I'll be in Sydney sporting our Arthouse Syndicate shirt.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
And maybe that one too.
All right. Cheers, dudes.
Have a good one.
See ya. Thank you.